Welcome back, Internet. So in this series of videos, I am going to show you my work process starting a new SaaS idea, pushing it from getting the idea of the SaaS product, from starting to code, promoting it, maybe selling it to actual customers and so on. I'm going to show you the full process of the journey, like starting with the idea today. So for the idea, in fact, we are going to get some inspiration from what I actually sent to my newsletter subscribers. You will find the link in the description below. And basically, my today's newsletter issue was about the fact that Resend passed 1 million developers and sharing some startup ideas to build on top of Resend. And why Resend? Well, basically, Resend provides the best developer experience, and I believe that's really important, especially in the beginnings, to have something where, like, as a developer, you've got, like, it's really easy to work with because you need to iterate a lot, and like you need to get the friction off your way. You need something to start quickly. And with Resend, like, you don't have EV KYC in the beginnings. Like, you can just create an account, plug your domain, and start receiving and sending emails. So that's just perfect for an indie hacker, for a wannabe entrepreneur, for someone starting things. That's perfect, right? And so I just shared some ideas around, like, what can be built, what one can build on top of Resend. Like, the first one was about a local newsletter network. That's really big thing, and I wish, like, someone starts, like, more and more people start building in this field, because I think it could be huge. Like, in my country, in France, I don't know much people building such things like local newsletters, and I believe it could absolutely work, like people to check their emails and stuff. So, like, I think, like, it can be, like, I think it's getting huge in the US, and, like, maybe not as huge as it could be, but, like, in other countries like France, European countries, I'm not sure that basically tons of people are doing it. So yeah, you can just create some local newsletter network or a platform for people starting local newsletters and stuff. Another one would be a platform particularly tailored for B2B companies, for every company wanting a newsletter, really, and something tailored for their use cases, because, like, Substack is not ideal for this kind of people, and that's definitely something one can build. The idea I'm going to start iterating on, maybe I will pivot at some point, who knows, is actually the third one in here. It's called a programmable newsletter platform. It's just a newsletter platform with great API, great GX for developers and agents. That's what we are going to build. And so, like, the target would be developers, indie hackers, and people that are really geeks when it comes to using AI agents, right? Like, AI agents enthusiasts. That would be the crowd I am starting to build with and to build for. Like, the gap is that Substack has no free public API at all. Like, it doesn't have any free public API that one can use where you can create API keys and stuff like that. Like, there are some ways to automate actions. I actually found ways to automate some actions, but it's really limited. Like, your cookies keep expiring, so you don't have a real free public API to use. So basically, like, if you want to build something on top of Substack with agents or something, like, it's a real mess. When it comes to Beehiiv, it gets its API behind pricier plans, and I strongly believe that when you're starting to iterate, like, you need it from scratch, because, like, it unlocks your potential, and when it starts working, like, okay, you can pay, but, like, when you are just starting, checking whether the business works or not, like, you want something with maybe a small free tier, and like there are other aspects in Beehiiv that are really great, but some, like when it comes to actual features, like the experience as a user, like I think it's good, but I think it could be great. And I don't know anything great in the space, and that's what we are trying to do with very humble beginnings, because that's really hard to build something great, a great product. That's not like it's a simple task. That's some hard work. I will do my best at providing something great, but we will start with something as minimal as possible and keep iterating until we've got something great, hopefully. And like when it comes to Resend, like in theory, like it should be handling this use case pretty good. Like it's got broadcast, a feature called broadcast that is able to send marketing emails. So in theory, it should be absolutely possible. Okay, so in the market currently, so there are stuff like Substack, there are stuff like Beehiiv. There is also another platform that is more about email marketing, more than just email newsletters, and that's a good thing. That's kit.com. Previously, it was named ConvertKit. And the interesting thing about this platform is that if we like find that the newsletter space is too small, we can extend to other email marketing aspects. That's something possible. And Kit shows it that there is such a way. Like, for example, it could be some platform to create easily some lead magnets. Like it could be about also like creating email courses, stuff like that. So like there is some way beyond Beehiiv and beyond Substack. If we find that our initial set of features doesn't find its ICP, so that's something good to know. When it comes to newsletters, like tons of people have newsletters nowadays. There is Lara Acosta, who's basically the LinkedIn girl who has a great newsletter. There is Mark Lou, who's got some newsletter. I'm not sure how activities, but it seems but active. Like there are tons of people finding some interest in making personal newsletters or newsletters linked to their personal brands. And when it comes to like the media business, the online media business, there are stuff like the Hustle, the Scheme, Industry Dive, that are all that all have some newsletter aspect to them, and that some of them, like the Scheme, Industry Dive, they got acquisitions in hundreds of millions of dollars, showing that basically there are new media getting built on the internet, and they will probably need some platform and some tech to sustain their growth. And like there is a huge, like I believe that we will see more of those in the future. Like there might be some momentum for new media to appear. Like in the French language, I believe like we need to see more of those in the future. Like I wish there were more of those. But even in the US and in the world overall, I believe like the trend of creating online medias, maybe niche, like Industry Dive does it with industries, like it's really B2B. I believe like that we need the Gen Z version of Industry Dive, like people starting into business and wanting to read about the energy business, about logistics, about anything really. And that like Industry Dive is really it's getting old, and there might be some market for a Gen Z version of Industry Dive, and like we might be able to create the tech that will incentivize the next Industry Dive, the next Scheme, the next Hustle, and so on and so forth. So that's it about for the market, the potential use cases of our technology. And now let's get to Excalidraw and like start with like brainstorming a little bit. Like I'm doing it live. I don't have much prepared. Just me and the webcam in here. I don't have any notes. So like let's brainstorm live. So like when it comes to have like for the name of this platform, I've got some domain that I don't think it's really descriptive, but Substack isn't really descriptive, neither Beehiiv, neither Kit, and it's called PalmFrame. And like what I love about this name, well, first is that I do have the .com. So first thing is that I do have the .com. Well, .com. I have a .com. And like it's got some summer vibes. Like there is the palm in here. Like it's summer coded. And I love the fact that it's summer coded. Like I love the vibe. And another thing is that if I pivot, like it's pivot friendly, because like it could be about something around video because of the frame stuff. It could be like, since it's not really much descriptive, it could suit on other use cases, right? So basically this name is pivot ready. I can just change whatever it's doing and the name can just remain, right? So that's how I'm going to name this platform. I'm going to call it PalmFrame. And so when it comes to like the original ICP, well, the first people I'm going to try to target is people on X. And like, I'm not completely sure it's the right distribution channel. I will probably have to pivot at some point, but I'm going to try to begin with this one. So distribution channel, I'm going to say it's indie hackers on X. And the reason why I'm targeting these people first is because like I've got some following on X and I believe that's the distribution channel I can target the most easily. And maybe that's a mistake and I will figure out like if it's not suiting, like if it's not matching. But I believe that it's not that I believe, but I will start with this distribution channel, right? So that's indie hackers on X. What else? I'm going to use Resend, usage of Resend, to actually send Gmails. To send Gmails and manage broadcast / audiences list. Because I believe it's a feature of Resend, and I will see like how much I can use it. But it's got some feature to manage broadcasts and audiences list. And that's something that is interesting to me since I am building some newsletter platform. Okay, so that's for our usage of Resend. What else can we discuss in here? Well, we need to plan for an MVP, of course. And so that will be a huge chunk. I'm still not very used to Excalidraw. Okay, so let's plan our MVP because we need to scope the MVP so that it's really minimum, but it's viable as well. Like, what makes it minimal? What makes it viable? What makes it an actual product, right? So when it comes to the product, the product will be something about, it's going to be something about like something very simple, like a simplified Substack, basically. And the promise is that you will have access to your API of your publication. And that, like, basically we will try to build the best product with our customers, not with necessarily the existing Substack users. And I will need some users to help me like find out what to build into the product. I will need to find some design partners, like among maybe my first distribution channel in here, where I will need to ask people for feedback for what they actually need and what they would actually pay for in such a product. So let's start with a simplified Substack. What could make it viable for me is that people can create posts, display posts in web/emails. So basically we can send like this display posts in a web way. So like in a website, in a simple website way. So let's say I am Lara Acosta and I'm using my thing. And let's say I can access to it through lara.palmframe.com. Or it could be Mark Lou or anything. Mark. So basically, like you can access it through a slug in here. The publication slug. And like /post/ something. Okay. And what else? Like you can send posts through email to the email list. And people can subscribe and unsubscribe. And my users can create/manage their publication. So that's for the what would make it viable, I believe. I believe that with all of that, we can make it viable. So we've got our product, we've got what makes it viable. And I believe that what makes it viable is also what makes it minimal, because we don't, like, if that's viable, like, that's the minimum we should build. So minimum viable and the product aspect are here. So that's for the MVP. That's almost a prototype more than an MVP, but yeah, I'm not sure how to how to name that, but MVP/prototype, maybe the MVP will need to do more things. Likely the MVP/prototype. Anyway, so that's for the scope. So that's for the scope of our SaaS initially. When it comes to pricing, I'm not sure if I put it in MVP/prototype. Maybe I'll make it a new. Like when it comes to the pricing, I will need to test a few things. Free tier/no free tier. No free tier. Like what people are saying online is that free tiers are mid, especially in the beginnings. And since I'm an indie hacker, like maybe I should avoid a free tier. Probably should avoid the free tier, especially in the beginnings, because I don't have much cash to handle like people not interested. So probably I will need to make people pay upfront. Then I can start with a subscription, like according to number of subscribers, because like sending emails cost money, and I need my users to at least make me break even. because like my main cost, well, I will have some acquisition cost, I will have some other costs, but I need at least to be break even when it comes to sending emails. And like my pricing overall should make me break even when it comes even to acquisition cost and so on. But anyway, so that's for the pricing. And then I can actually do something. I'm not sure if it's smart or not. It may be very dumb, but what I can actually do to try, like during these building public days, and maybe that afterwards I will stop. When it comes to the pricing, I can sell the code base in a one-time payment. But then, like, my users need to handle their own resend, they need to buy their domain, handle everything on their own, right? Sell the code base in one-time payment. That could help me, like, getting serious about this SaaS. Like, if it works, I strongly believe that making money, like, while I'm building the SaaS, well, that could help me, like, gaining confidence in the product, get some early feedbacks, like, just make money. And, like, money is a proof that something works, at least. So, that's something to consider, like, especially during the building public days. And like what I can sell, like let's say for 200 euros, 100 slash 200 euros, something like that. Like let's say in the next video it could be like 100 euros and then 200 euros. So that you can buy like the alpha version of PalmFrame. So that's it for the pricing. Of course, like that's not definitive at all. Like we need to work on the pricing, like do some tests, see what works and so on, but that's some initial version of the pricing. So we've got our name, distribution channel. Well, it's initial distribution channel because like we need to project ourselves in a world where this first distribution channel, whether it works or it doesn't work at like we get it to exhaustion. Like we get initial users, initial people interested in it, but then we need to find other people. So my major distribution channels is what comes next. And that could be like ads running on Facebook, Google Ads, well, Meta. It's a Meta for Instagram and Facebook, Google Ads, Reddit ads. Like it could be about like making it easy to migrate from competitors and reaching out to potential and finding people in discomfort with competitors, like people that want to churn, like churning from competitors. That could be some marketing, churning from competitors. What could it be? Well, it could be from people actually running newsletters, like actual users running their newsletters and having success with PalmFrame. That could be a distribution channel because like people would see, oh, this one is running on PalmFrame, let's check it out. So that's a distribution channel, I believe. YouTube videos could be a distribution channel. Word of mouth, but I don't believe in it. Like, let's say, let's say word of mouth. I don't really believe in that, but just referrals. Don't really believe in it, and maybe affiliates, but that's the same. I do not believe in it at all for this SaaS. But maybe it will work this way. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows? So, like initial distribution channel, Indiacus on X, and YouTube videos, let's say, plus YouTube videos. And I believe that could be more mature distribution channels. It could be LinkedIn, it could be in ads. Cold Gmail, I don't think Cold Gmail would work at all. Another distribution channel, or a way to make money at least, is to run my own newsletters on top of PalmFrame. That could work. Who knows? At least that's an option. Potential option. Okay. So we got the MVP, pricing, distribution channels, names. I believe that's about it for today's video. Like if you're still here, like what we've done in this video is brainstorming our way to a SaaS platform. And like in the next videos, we're going to see how I proceed through the actual engineering of the MVP, how I'm starting to communicate, stuff like that, right? So that's about it for this video. I hope you liked it. I hope like you can follow the exact same process for your own SaaS, and see you in the next one.